Hey guys, and welcome to another streaming video. Now the Mario Kart series is one that is loved by many people, including me. It's just great how they put a whole new twist on the racing gaming franchise. And one of the main reasons for this is the items. I love all the items, well actually most, but I thought it'd be really interesting if we could rank all of them, so that's what I'm going to do today. I will not be including any of the special items from Mario Kart Double Dash, or any of the triple items like the triple shell, triple banana and triple mushroom. But other than that, there's no restrictions, so let's just get right into it. "22nd on the list, which is also the worst, is the coin. I'm sure this can't be a surprise to you. Coins are pretty much useless. They can give you slightly more speed, but with the chaos of Mario Kart, like items flying across the screen, a slight bit of speed probably won't make a huge difference. This item is only featured in Super Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I personally really hope that in Mario Kart 9 and all the future games to come, these pesky, useless items don't come along with us." And number 21 is the Thundercloud. Now this was an item that's first and last appearance was in Mario Kart Wii, and I'm really not surprised about this. And I think a total of, 0 people enjoyed it. That's mainly because it can actually harm you. Yes, that's right. This is an item that can, and quite often does, affect your race in a negative way. Basically, you gain some speed while it is active, and if you don't bump into someone else, which is harder than it seems, then you shrink and lose all your gained speed, and it definitely deserves this spot in my opinion. And number 20 is the fake item box. Now this item can also depend on which Mario Kart title it is, as for example in Mario Kart Double Dash, these items are completely useless as they are a completely different colour, and any person with more than 5 minutes of this game will easily be able to recognise this. In some of the recent games, they've tried their best to make these look similar, and I just don't know why they don't make them look identical, like literally the exact same. That would make this item at least slightly useful. And number 19 is the Power Block. Now this is another item that was only featured in Mario Kart Wii. It seems like they really went out there and tried new stuff for this game, and although the new items weren't the best, I really respect them for attempting this. But anyway, this item isn't really effective enough for me. You hardly lose any speed, and the only true negative thing that this item does is remove the player's item, which can be quite helpful, but only sometimes, and it mainly depends on luck, which is not a positive thing. And number 18 is the Super Leaf. This item was an exclusive item for Mario Kart 7. It seems to be a theme for these items at the bottom of the list. Most of them only appear in one game before going to a deep, dark abyss of uselessness. This was inspired by the Tanuki Leaf power-up from the 3D Mario game for the system, Super Mario 3D Land. I really don't like this power-up as it's only really useful if you're right next to the other racers, which is very rarely the case. So this gets a fat no-no from me. And number 17 is the Blooper. Now this one was introduced in Mario Kart DS and has managed to creep its way into every title since. This one is based off the enemy in the Mario platformers, and they are a real pain in those games, and you don't really want to be near them. Kinda like in the Mario Kart games, as you really don't want to find yourself with one of them. The Blooper basically just squirts black on the screen. Although it is a bit annoying when it happens to you, it really doesn't affect you much, and you can quite easily see around it. And number 16 is the Boo. Now this item could either be really useful or completely pointless. It's all just based on luck, and that's why I'm not really a fan. Although a lot of Mario Kart is kinda based on luck, having an item which could literally make your game if you're lucky really isn't something that should be allowed. This has been in the last few games, and I could definitely see this staying with us for quite a few Mario Karts in the future, unfortunately. And number 15 is the Blue Shell. and this is probably the most hated item in the entire game. When you see one coming your way, you're pretty much screwed. Well, apart from one particular item that will be coming up later. But even when you have it, it's really not much use. You normally find yourself getting the blue shell when you're lower down in the race. So the fact that it only hits the person in first place really doesn't help you that much. And it only really helps the people in around the top 3. So other than getting the person in first pissed off, it doesn't do much else. And number 14 is the banana. Now this is probably the most iconic item in Mario Kart history. If you thought of Mario Kart items, this is probably the first thing you think of. And it's managed to find its way into every release, which is pretty impressive. Although it's not the greatest, I'd say it's pretty average. It's not very effective when trying to attack opponents, but considering you only get this in either second or first usually, attacking isn't really what you need. But defensively, it does its job. It can stop incoming shells, which is really helpful, and all that's really needed when you're in a position like this. And number 13 is the fire flower. This one unfortunately misses out on a position in the top 10. I think this is where the items turn from average, or well, trash, to some actually pretty solid items. The fire flower allows you to unsurprisingly throw fireballs at your opponents. You can actually shoot quite a few, which is helpful, as they don't move too quickly, but when you just spray them across the screen, it is very likely you'll hit at least one person, which is a very good thing, and you can't say that about a lot of the other items, so I gotta give the fire flower the credit it deserves. And number 12 is the green shell. I personally have a lot of fun using this item. It actually requires a bit of thought and skill to use this as good as possible. This item allows you to easily block any incoming enemies, which is very useful when you're trying to maintain those higher positions. As well as protecting yourself though, with good aim, you can hit some racers in front of you as well. Although it can be quite challenging after getting a bit of practice with them, you can find yourself attacking quite a few peeps with these. And number 11 is the boomerang flower. It's interesting to see how in the recent releases, quite a few of the new items are just taken directly from the platforming Mario games. I'll be really interested to see in the future if they carry on this theme. But now onto the boomerang. This, like the green shell, allows you to throw it at enemies, but with this, there's a bit of a twist. Firstly, when you throw it, it also comes back, and you can quite easily find yourself knocking a few people on the way back as well. And as well as this, you can throw it a total of 2 times, making this a very powerful and effective item that I definitely wouldn't find getting from an item box in my next race. And number 10 is the Mega Mushroom. Now this is another item that only existed in Mario Kart Wii before dying, but it was nowhere near as bad as some of the ones that I mentioned earlier. This pretty much made you indestructible for a short period of time. You also gain a little bit of speed too, but that isn't even the best bit. You're freaking huge, like you literally end up taking about like the whole screen, which I personally find slightly hilarious and really cool. It's just a lot of fun going around and squishing anyone that is stupid enough to get in your way, and it can be very effective and help you on your road to victory. And number 9 is the mushroom, another iconic item from the Mario Kart series, and although it's just a short one-off boost, that can really help you and save your race, as it is very useful for some tracks, and it is a very easy way to do some secret shortcuts. Some shortcuts are literally race changing and can take you to first no matter what position you're in. So as a result, this item can be absolutely amazing, mainly depending on the track you get this with. And number 8 is the Bob-omb. Now I did not realise how incredible and overpowered this item is until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This has existed in previous titles, but in this game I found myself much more happy when finding it. Basically, if you shoot this backwards, it's almost definite that someone will get blown up. What happens is that there is a short timer that when it ends, it will blow up. But also if a racer drives near it, it will also blow up. And with its pretty big hitbox, it's near enough guaranteed to harm this opponent, making this item one of the more effective items out there. And number 7 is the red shell. Now this item too has been around for quite a while, and I'm still very happy when I get one. This, as well as allowing you to protect yourself from other items, you can also have a guaranteed shot at the opponent in front of you. This is really effective, as the main person you will want to overtake when racing is the person directly in front of you, and with this power up, it's near enough guaranteed that you will end up racing past them, which is great, and can have a big impact on your final position, which is the main goal for this game, so it's a very important item to have. And number 6 is the Piranha Plant. Now this is one that was brand new to the latest title, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and as a proud member of the PP gang, I almost had to like it, and luckily it's actually really good. This near enough makes you invincible, apart from a few obvious exceptions, but in terms of green and red shells, the Piranha uses his long stem to turn around and eat it, protecting you from being hit. And the plant doesn't just eat incoming items, but also nearby racers. Any racer that comes near you will just get munched up immediately. Well, what if there's no one near you? Don't worry, this guy bites the air, which is kinda strange, but it gives you a speed boost, and this can go on for a while, and can very easily take you back to your enemies, ready to become food. And number 5 is the Super Horn. And this was another brand new item introduced to the Switch's Mario Kart release, and I'm very glad that this was added. Finally, those pesky, infuriating shells, coloured blue, covered in spikes, wings that allow it to get anywhere, can be stopped. Yes, Nintendo finally listened to us and realised that we hate blue shells, and finally gave us a fully legitimate way to block these stupid things. Not only that though, but it can be used for other things too, like blocking red shells, and also if someone is near you, you can activate it, and as long as they're within the hitbox, they'll get damaged, making this item very useful for a lot of different circumstances. Number 4 is the Lightning. Now as much as it is very annoying when you're on the receiving end of this item, when you find yourself getting this, what you do is shrink every single opponent in the race. This causes them to lose quite a lot of speed, which can be really helpful considering you get this item only when very low down in the race. Although, depending on what position that racer is in, the longer or shorter that they will remain tiny. But not only do they shrink and lose speed, they can also lose their item. It doesn't sound like that much, but it can really help when you're lower down, as most people often have great items down there, so them having nothing can be really effective. And number 3 is the Golden Mushroom, and this is pretty much a very upgraded version of the original mushroom. Instead of just one boost, which is honestly good enough, you have an unlimited amount, which is absolutely crazy. This means that you can literally zoom past any opponent in front of you, and even if there's no shortcut that you can see, the fact that you have unlimited boosts means that you'll probably make it to one that's far away and still be able to go past many races in the process, making this overall, in my opinion, the 3rd most effective item you can have. And number 2 is the Star. Now the Star only just misses out on the number 1 spot, but this doesn't by any means mean that this item is bad, and as it is the 2nd best in Mario Kart history. This, like in the platforming Mario games, allows you to become invincible for a certain period of time. This, as I'm sure you can guess, can save you in many ways, and can protect you from anything, like literally anything. Although you do normally get this lower down in the race, so you don't really need to protect yourself normally. But don't worry, because you can also completely take out any enemies that you touch as well. And even if you're not near anyone, then luckily this item also gives you quite a large speed boost while active. Like, I swear to God, this item has a solution to like any problem possible. But there is one item I think just tops this one. And number 1, my favourite Mario Kart item is the Bullet Bill. As I'm sure you could have guessed, Bullet Bill gets the number 1 position as my favourite item in Mario Kart history. This item is just amazing, and I can't think of any faults I could give it. Basically, you remember those enemies in the Mario platforming games, and well, have you ever thought, you know, what I really want to be one of those. No, well, neither did I, until I actually experienced it. It's just so overpowered. You gain incredible speed, run directly through the center of the track, so no chance of falling off. And any opponent that's dumb enough to stay anywhere near the middle of the track will get destroyed. I'm just always over the moon when I see this item come out of that item box. And I mean, can you blame me? Now that is the end of today's video. Hope you guys really enjoyed. If you did, then please leave a like. Well, this is my opinion, so I'd really be interested to see what yours is. So comment that down below. And yeah, check my Instagram, Patreon, Discord and Twitter in the description. And I will see you in the next one. And goodbye.
Wait, you really thought you could get away without shouting out the best editor of all time? PFFT, good luck with that. Hey guys, my name is Cabox and I'm not Thunder, but I did edit this video and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, as I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers.
Who gives a shit?